My name is Simon Cook. I'm currently the head coach of Hong Kong Cricket. I've been in that role since 2016. Prior to that, I had a 16-year professional playing cricket career in England for Middlesex and Kent. Back when I first came involved with Hong Kong cricket, there were a lot of different players that aren't necessarily around today. Irfan Ahmed, Nadeem Ahmed, Haseeb Amjad, Mark Chapman, Jamie Atkinson were all very senior players in the team in 2014 when I took over. Targets were back then based more around personal performance, achieving qualification. There wasn't necessarily a target of winning tournaments, but just qualification and ensuring you maintained where you were and moved forward. The playing 11 now is very different to when it was when I first took over. There are a number of players who were on the fringes back then, who are now actually the main players. So Azaz Khan, Baba Hyatt, Anshuman Rath has come forward, is now the captain, is now one of our main players. Ehsan Khan has come into the fold, is performing very well. And so all of these youngsters that were coming through 3-4 years ago are now forming a really good core part of our squad moving forwards. Every team has a number of key performers, and you look at those performers to be consistent in delivering what they can, and you can build the rest of your unit around those. So the key performers over the last few years, Baba Hyatt, Ehsan Khan, Anshuman Rath, have been our really key standout performers. Yeah, Zimbabwe was disappointing. We went into the tournament with high confidence of retaining ODI status. We had an injury in the prep tour with Hassan Abbasi sustaining an ACL tear, which meant that we had to rejig the batting order at very short notice. Unfortunately, it didn't work out the way we wanted it to. The wickets were tougher. It meant that our strike rotation was compromised, and we ended up not being able to put the scores on the boards that we really needed to, that our bowlers could then defend. So it was very disappointing. Historically, our Hong Kong strength has been in their bowling department, with the likes of Ehsan Khan, Nadeem Ahmed really kind of choking the opposition through the middle periods, and then we've got some very good death bowlers in Ehsan Nawaz, Tanvir Ahmed, to really drive home the advantage. I would say recently that focus has switched, and now we're more a team that prefers to chase, and that was evident in the recent India game, and also our recent successes have been based around chasing. Who's on the phone the most in the team? I would say 18 months ago that would have been Anshuman Rath. However, recently Baba has got married, and now his phone is constantly effectively taped to the side of his head. Without doubt, the most talkative player in our dressing room is Ehsan Khan. You will always know if he's in the room. You'll always know if he's in the room 2 down from you in the hotel. You can always hear him all of the time. He's definitely the most talkative. He's got the most infectious personality, which is brilliant amongst our group. Domestic cricket here in Hong Kong is always a challenge. It's challenged by facilities. We have 3 grounds which are capable of hosting turf cricket matches. With 3 grounds, unfortunately, it means that a 9-month season gets elongated out, which means you play 10 games in a typical season. So you're playing 1 game and then you might have 2-3 weeks off, which doesn't really promote high performance cricket. It doesn't promote consistency. You can get 100 one week and you might not bat for 3 weeks, which means that form is effectively gone, so you're just starting again all of the time. What we try to do with the national players is we try to slot in Premier League tournaments leading up into major events. So for example, leading up into the World T20 qualifiers, we're going to have a T20 Premier League through September to give our national players the most consistent cricket and the best cricket they can domestically. Unfortunately, our national players now, they play so much. We're one of the highest playing associate nations around, and it means that unfortunately the national players don't actually get to play a lot of club cricket anyway, even if they were based in Hong Kong. The under-19s go off to Malaysia at the end of this month. It's an important tournament for them. We're fortunate to be involved with the ACC, which gives us additional content at under-16s, under-19s, and the average age of our national team is just under 24, which means that our under-19 team are only a step away from actually playing international cricket, and that's where the likes of Ardit Gurwara, Kalan Chalu, Arush Bhagwat, Hassan Mohammed, who are just starting to really bang on the door of national honours. It's a tournament for them to really shine and really push their way forward and try and get a full-time place in the national squad and maybe even get contracts. I think the England-India game, whether it's in a final or whether it's in the group stage, is going to be fantastic. It's just pure batting coming up against pure batting. You've got the belligerence of the England top order, Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow really going hard at two of the best bowlers in the world in Bumrah and Cumnor. You've got some fantastic batting with Kohli, Dhoni, Pandya. It's a mouth-watering prospect. We just hope that it's not going to get rain affected. You want the best surface for both these sides to really go kind of toe-to-toe against each other. Yeah, who's going to win the World Cup? Pretty tough. I think the top four teams for me would be England, India, Australia, and then I think the fourth spot is really up for grabs. I think Pakistan, West Indies, Sri Lanka, New Zealand are currently at the top of the table, but they've got a little bit tough, few more tough games to come. I think that fourth spot is really up for grabs, but I think three of those spots are pretty much nailed down. I think the conditions in England are really interesting. We've had 3 games rained off already. There may well be more rained off, so I think rain will have a factor in there determining the last 4. The tournament's been dominated by pace, and that's why I think will continue to be dominated, and that's why I think that England and Australia in particular, India with their batters, they're going to really contest those top kind of three spots. For me, I think it's going to be an England-India final, and being English, I would hope that England are going to come away with a win in their home country.